What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. We have an esteemed guest today. Please welcome friend of the show, Mr. Pablo himself, ICO investor extraordinaire. Okay, let's get right into it. Obviously, it's been a green day for Bitcoin so far. We've seen Bitcoin shoot up all the way to 8,000 really briefly, now stabilizing at around 7,600. Why is this happening? A lot of you are asking this question. Well, I want to draw your attention to an indicator that I pointed out a few videos ago. Again, I'll link it up here somewhere, but it is basically this Bitfinex longs versus shorts. This right here is a ratio of the long contracts versus short contracts on Bitfinex. The more that this goes up, the higher the ratio of longs to shorts. The more it goes down, the lower the ratio of longs to shorts. Theoretically, meaning that there are more shorts than longs. If we swap this indicator out for one that just shows us the shorts, let me remove this one and just make this a little thicker for the camera to see. Here's something really interesting. You'll see that the shorts, this indicator right here just shows us the shorts, right? Like how many shorts there are, and does not take into account longs. Look at how many shorts there are here. This is an all-time high, just based on when this indicator started collecting data, which was August of 2017. Look, this is an all-time high. Like, look, the shorts just hit a ceiling here, meaning there were more shorts during this time than at any other point in history going back to August 2017. Why is this significant? Well, Bitcoin rose in price by almost 12% today, which is abnormal based on, Bitcoin's recent history. So it seems random to most people looking at the markets, but if you pay attention to the shorts, you'll know that this can directly be attributed to the number of shorts and the fact that the shorts are at an all-time high or at a high since August 2017. See, what happens when you have such a large volume of shorts is you run the risk as a short seller of getting squeezed, or what we call a short squeeze. Most of you watching this will probably know what a short is, but for those that don't, in summarized terms and really basic terms, a short is when you bet that the stock or the security is going to go down in price. So if we have shorts here at an all-time high, and by the way, the price here was in the 6,000s, right? So you have a bunch of people betting that the price of BTC is going to keep going down. Now, what happens when the price starts increasing? Well, the short sellers start panicking and they have to close out their positions. Because you bet that Bitcoin is going to drop, the more that it increases, the more money you're losing. And you can essentially bleed money infinitely if you're shorting, because the price, there's no ceiling theoretically. I mean, obviously we have resistance levels and there's a realistic price range that the security or the coin can move towards. But theoretically, upward movement is infinite. So the more it goes up, the more the short sellers are bleeding money. And so what they do is they have to buy back the security or the stock in order to cover their short. And in order to prevent, the loss of money, they start panic buying, right? So for people who are on the long side of the market, you hear the term panic selling, which is, selling as the price is going down. Well, the exact opposite occurs for people who are short. They start panic buying as the market inches upwards, and a large number of buys within a short time frame keeps driving the price upward. And that is essentially what a short squeeze is. These short sellers get squeezed out because the price keeps going up. Now, what can we expect from here? Well, we'll take a look at the other indicators in a second. But what you can expect is BTC's price, just based on precedents, to keep going up. And the reason I say that is this: anytime you see a sharp drop in these shorts, right, like you've seen before, and we haven't reached these highs, again, as far back as this indicator has collected data, which is August 2017. But anytime you see a drop in shorts, you'll see that it's correlated with a rally in price. Right? Anytime you see a drop in shorts, you get a rally. So if this continues to drop, you can expect Bitcoin's price to keep going up, because there will be less short sellers, meaning more people are long on Bitcoin, meaning the market sentiment, you can determine that the market sentiment is positive. So we might see Bitcoin continue to rise. Now, we have our resistance level currently, our current resistance level set at 8,900, right? Because that is the point where towards the end of March, we could not get past that. So that we have to close above this in order to see any kind of level upwards. But this is great news for those of us who are bullish on Bitcoin, because the psychology or the sentiment of traders, all traders, whether you're short, whether you're long, are mapped on to these charts. That's why I laugh when I hear that technical analysis doesn't work. Yes, you can get too chart happy and start throwing, a zillion indicators on here. And there is kind of a phenomenon of diminishing returns where the more indicators you throw in here, the less effective it becomes. But there is still a measurable amount of sentiment that you can glean from charts. And this tells you that, it doesn't really tell you whether, you can't say for sure whether Bitcoin's going to go up or down or what level it's going to get to. But what you can say is, based on market sentiment and based on these indicators, right, the longs versus the shorts, that Bitcoin was not comfortable with so many shorts at this, high 6,000s price level. And now Bitcoin is trying to correct from being so heavily shorted at that level. Now, obviously, market trends can change. Patterns can change, but that is what it's giving us currently, is that being so heavily shorted in the high 6,000s, right, is not where Bitcoin wanted to be. And that's why you see the short drop in shorts. But now you could see that 6,500 is around our bottom. Bitcoin does not want to go below that, or the market doesn't want to let Bitcoin go below that. And, previous to this, 7,400 was our current resistance going all the way back to the beginning of April. We have now crossed that. Let's see if we close above 7,400. We're currently at 76.35 around there, and see what happens to Bitcoin's closing price. Taking a look at the other indicators, you see that we have the MACD converging right here. If the 12, the blue line, starts diverging upwards away from the 26, then that usually correlates with an increase in price. For the RSI, we definitely have more room to grow in order to achieve these previous levels. We've said before on the RSI that Bitcoin in a few years hasn't hit the oversold level and then not climbed up to the overbought level thereafter. That trend still exists. I mean, we came really close to being oversold on the RSI, towards the end of March, around March 30th and 31st, but it has not dipped below that 30 line. So theoretically, that trend still exists, and we could get to the overbought level again before ever hitting the oversold level. In my view, one major thing that needs to happen before a reversal can be determined is this death cross right here of the 50 and the 200 moving averages. This needs to start normalizing again, where the 50 is above the 200, or it starts closing this gap right here, right? Because currently this gap is getting wider and wider. But with the increase in price today, we might see that the 50, start inching back towards the 200 and hopefully close above it in the next coming days or weeks. But that needs to happen before we can say for sure that we have a trend reversal. In terms of altcoins, we saw a few altcoins have some nice rallies, some of them parabolically. If you look at EOS, for instance, we saw this 40% growth and then, a pullback over the last day or so. Because, not many securities or stocks can sustain such a level of growth. NEO, we saw about a 20% increase. If you follow the trade alerts on the Discord, you'll see that we sent a trade alert for both NEO and EOS on April 3rd. So we were able to catch those rallies and make nice percentage gains on both EOS and NEO. About 40% on EOS, 22% or so on NEO. So the link is in the description if you want to join the Patreon for the trade alerts. In terms of other altcoins, at least the blue chip ones, we see that there is finally some green coming into Ethereum at 10%. If you're going by dollar value, Ripple's up 12%. This has been just really, really dead. Like Ripple has been pretty much immune to any good news. It was just news release after news release after news release, and people were saying, why isn't Ripple's price reacting? And that goes to show you that, yes, technical analysis is great, fundamental analysis is great, but at the end of the day, this is a market, and markets do unexpected things. It doesn't always do what you expect it to do. So you just have to be prepared in order to anticipate you know, increases and declines and whatnot. If you switch this to BTC, you'll see now that we have more red than we've had in the last couple of days. And this can simply be explained because BTC's value has gone up sharply overnight, really. And so you expect to see a pullback in alts that are paired against BTC. That is it for the video. If you want to learn more about the short squeeze phenomenon, I'll leave a link to the description to this article I found on Investopedia, which is a great resource, even though it's not crypto specific, but a lot of the same strategies and indicators that apply to stocks and other securities can be applicable to crypto. I will leave a link to this in the description. Thank you for watching the video. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. If you have a question for me, leave it in the YouTube comments or join the Discord. It's 100% free. I'll leave a link to the Discord in the description as well. Sign up to the Patreon for the trade alerts and the weekly report. Stay safe out there. Peace.